Welcome to Darren Daily. This morning, I want to share a story with you from a while back when George and I were helping fulfill a lifelong dream for my father. My dad was a big Formula One fan. The biggest and most celebrated race of the season is the Grand Prix of Monaco. My dad had never made it to the big one, he called it. But thanks to the generosity of one of our high-performance elite members, Mr. Kevin Merrigan, whose client has a slip on the premier spot on the track to park his mega yacht, we were invited to attend. I cannot tell you how excited my dad was. Just attending would be a dream come true for him, let alone on a mega yacht parked right after the famous Nouvelle chicane, the most exciting part of the entire track. But my mentor Jim Rohn taught me a valuable lesson. A great experience needs to be weaved, like a tapestry. You can't just leave great experiences to chance. It has to be woven, he would say. So in the months leading up to the trip, we started to weave the experience. We found an autographed vintage Monaco Grand Prix race poster from 1933 and had it framed and hand-delivered to my dad. Later, we sent he and his wife picture books from the south of France and the history of the race. Then we sent them all sorts of French accoutrements, sampling some of the things that they would soon experience firsthand. Soap from Provence, salt caramels from Brittany, chocolate from Bayonne, Dijon mustard from Dijon, France, Pinot Noir from Burgundy, and a CD of nostalgic and famous French music. Weaving and weaving. And we had all sorts of little surprises planned for him during the trip, continuing to weave throughout the entire experience. The months leading up to this experience were some of the most joyous times of my dad's life. Even though those were the final months of his life, within 90 days of that Monaco race, my dad had passed away from bone cancer. So my question for you this morning is, how are your weaving skills? It's not just the reservation for date night, but the weaving of the whole experience, before, during, and after. It is not just the invitation to your clients to join you in the box suite for the big game or concert, but the whole experience leading up to it and throughout it. It is not just the quarterly meeting, but the weaving of the tapestry to the entire experience. So take a date night or an upcoming vacation or a company-wide meeting, your next family night, something. And instead of just going through the motions of planning and preparing, instead weave the experience like a tapestry, one layered with all sorts of wonderful textures to create a magnificent and unforgettable experience. It doesn't have to be complicated or even expensive. Just the thoughtfulness that you build into the experience will enhance its texture and richness significantly. Now, tell us in the comments below, what experience are you going to plan to weave some happiness texture? Share that with us and make some notes in your Darren Daily Journal. Inspire us with your great ideas. Happy Friday, everybody. 60 is the worst age to be, said the 60-year-old. You always feel like you have to pee, and most of the time, you stand at the toilet and nothing comes out. That's nothing, said the 70-year-old. When you're 70, you can't even poop anymore. You take laxatives, and you sit on the toilet all day, and nothing comes out. Actually, said the 80-year-old, 80 is the worst age of all. Why? Do you have trouble peeing? Asked the 60-year-old. No, not really. I pee every morning, 6 a.m., no problem at all. Do you have trouble pooping? Asked the 70-year-old. No, I poop like a champ every morning at 6:30. With great frustration, the 60-year-old said, let me get this straight. You pee every morning at 6 and you poop every morning at 6:30. So why is it so tough being 80? The 80-year-old said, I don't wake up till 7 a.m. Mark was bragging that his new 3D printer can print a gun. Cody wasn't impressed. He said, I've had a Canon printer for years. Gary said, yeah, well, I ordered a laser jet and those morons sent me a paper printer. Okay. Last week, Cody got kicked out of the pool for peeing in it. Cody said, come on, what's the big deal? Everybody pees in the pool. And then Mark said, well, maybe, but not from the diving board. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you on that flip side.